a lot has happened in the past 3.5, 4 years since I made a video last. And I figured, because of a recent hospital admission that I had, that maybe I should make another video. And I've been working on my blog, Crohn's Chronicles, and putting more content out there. Last time I think I made a video was when I had my ileostomy bag placed in January of 2019. And needless to say, that bag is actually gone now. Right after, I had gone back to Ohio for a little bit, and I met my now husband and had a baby. This baby that I had, his name is Fox, and he actually has a lot of health issues as well. Son had developed fluid around his brain, and this fluid is stuff that's supposed to like naturally drain out of you, but his wasn't, and that is what's called hydrocephalus. And that too is a lifelong chronic condition. They discovered that he also had his bowels were disconnected, that they noticed on the ultrasound, and that's what's called duodenal atresia. So he had a lot of health issues, and at 28 weeks, I developed severe preeclampsia that almost killed me. My umbilical cord was also no longer giving nutrients to the baby. So his abdomen and body wasn't growing, but his head continued to grow. And at 29 weeks, I was declining really bad. So they made the decision to do an emergency C-section by putting me completely out. He spent 87 days in NICU. He is 2 now and has had 6 surgeries since then and a lot of hospital stays. So our lives pretty much revolve around health issues. But I will do a video on his health stuff, and I'll do some more blog posts about all that stuff to try to spread awareness for those types of things. So in 2020, after I gave birth, my Crohn's seemed to kick back up, and luckily the pain hadn't returned. But I was going to the bathroom a lot, and even up to 12 times a day, and it kind of just became a way of life. I got so used to it that I learned to manage it, but I ended up seeing a GI in Ohio, and they prescribed me Humira. And I was doing the Humira shots every other week, and I was only on it for 7 months, and it completely failed me. Like, I was going to the bathroom up to 16 times a day at this point. I felt like shit every day. It did not do well for me. And so, being the person that I am, I took myself off of it. Something I do not recommend, because I don't make smart decisions sometimes for my own sake, and I need to. In October of 2021, we moved back out to Arizona. So we bought a house, and we've been here. We've been seeing doctors and stuff. I wasn't able to get into a GI until this upcoming August. Hopefully, my Crohn's, it just stays making me go to the bathroom, but hopefully there's no pain. I hadn't had pain in 2.5 years, so I wasn't too concerned about it until a month ago. A month ago, I woke up and I was in excruciating pain. Pain I had not felt since 2018, since when I got my bag placed. And I got worried. That pain lasted a week. So I went to the ER, and they pretty much dismissed me. It was an ER I've never been to. It wasn't a big hospital. It was just an ER. It's a problem where people with invisible illnesses that cause pain, like Crohn's, we get dismissed for our pain a lot. After a couple of hours, the doctor comes in after they do my CT scan, and he says, well, we know there's inflammation, but there's no perforation or obstruction, so we're going to send you home. So then the discharge nurse comes in, who I had not seen yet, and I was sobbing because of the pain, and she was like, oh, they're just sending you home, you don't have any prescriptions to pick up. And I was like, I don't even have steroids? As much as I hate prednisone and hate being on prednisone, I wanted anything I could have to at least do something. She was like, let me go talk to the doctor. And so she left, and the doctor came in shortly after and was like, I hear you want some steroids. And I was like, yeah, yeah. So he prescribed me prednisone for 3 weeks. I'm on prednisone at this point, and around the 2.5 week mark, I wake up and the pain is back. The pain is persisting, and I'm like, all right, I'll try to push through it. And all night long, I am vomiting and shitting my guts out, like literally on the toilet every 45 minutes. It got to the point where my head started killing me. I was severely dehydrated. Anytime I drank a sip of water, I was puking again. So my grandma comes at like 7, and we go to an ER near her house that's a hospital. So we get there, and immediately the doctors do a CT scan and they start checking everything out. They see that I'm clearly in a lot of pain. They're giving me pain meds. They then notice in my CT scan that my abscess, how my whole Crohn's ordeal started was from an abscess. My fistula has been there. Oh, sorry. My fistula that I've had on my butt cheek has been there since the first abscess I had in 2018. And I've had ceton placements. I've had 2 more ceton placement surgeries last year. I'm up to 10 surgeries now. But an abscess is formed again, and their surgeon at this hospital didn't feel comfortable performing on it. So they got me an ambulance and transferred me to a different hospital. If you want to read about this surgery and what an abscess is, what a fistula is, what a ceton is, I posted a blog article a couple days ago, and it describes it all, and it describes my experience. I put some helpful information about it all. It was a 6-day hospital stay, and on Saturday they did surgery on it. They were keeping me medicated. I was on IV antibiotics for the abscess, and now I'm on like the pill form of them. Basically, they did the surgery. They drained it and cleaned it out as much as they can, which was a fun time. But I also got a new GI who immediately validated everything I was saying, made me feel super comfortable. And on top of that, I have an appointment with him in a couple weeks. And he told me, he's working right now to get insurance to approve Remicade again. I had only ever had 2 Remicade infusions before I got the ileostomy bag. So I'm finally able to give Remicade another chance. He's also prescribing me an oral biologic. I can't start these things until the infection's gone and I'm off antibiotics. So in a couple weeks, hopefully my insurance improves it and I can start those infusions again. I had always wanted to continue Remicade, but in Ohio, they didn't want to try to. They went straight to Humira. Every doctor has their own drug of choice. So I'm super glad I have a new GI who actually listens to me and who is beginning me on 2 biologics to try to kick Crohn's in the ass. I often find myself saying things like, why can't I just be normal? But the real question would be, what is normal? We all have different ideas of normality. And truthfully, if I was what I perceive as normal, I don't think it would make much of a difference because no matter what, there'd still be something that I find wrong with me. Like there is no true sense or definition of a normal life. So to that I say, fuck normal. I mean, would it be nice to not have to find myself in the bathroom 10 plus times a day and experience pain in my intestines? Hell yeah. I can't change that. I can't change anything about me. So my normal is that. And the only thing there is to do is to combat it and try to minimalize it. When I was in the hospital, one of the doctors asked me how often I go to the bathroom. And I said anywhere between 4 and 6 on a good day and 10 plus on bad. He just kind of stared at me and said, I'm so sorry you have to go through that. I didn't even thought of it as an inconvenience in so long because I just grew so used to it. I've had 4 years of constantly moderating what I eat and going to the bathroom and timing things out perfectly. I've got a better understanding of what Crohn's actually is compared to what I used to think it was and how I used to think I knew everything. Because now I know a little more. I'm a little more educated on the subject. I'm a little more knowledgeable on the subject. I feel like I can be more of a reliable help for others because I've experienced this a little longer. Obviously, everybody has different Crohn's. No one has the same exact disease. We all have different bodies. We all have different tolerable foods we can handle. I know my body better now, and I know Crohn's a little better now, even if we all experience it differently. We all have different ways to manage our illness. Believe me, I'm not always this positive, like, you'll get through it, just be confident type person that I try to be. Like, yes, it is the best way to go about things because it beats sitting around, moping around, like pitying ourselves, which let me tell you, you have every reason to pity yourself. Don't let anybody invalidate how you feel about your illness. I have had people tell me, just get over it, or just do something better, or eat something better, and it's not that simple. So your feelings, no matter what, are always valid, and they always will be. So do not let anyone invalidate that at all. We all have our days where they're a lot harder than others, but it's life. And sadly, we have to live it. Because let's be honest, we can perceive Crohn's as kind of an embarrassing illness due to the fact that it involves shitting, bowel movements, and your butt, and your butthole, and your intestine. I don't know what that word was. And your intestines. So it's, it's not always comfortable to talk about, because before I had Crohn's, I would get embarrassed if I had to poop in front of, with people, and it's shouldn't be, because come on, we all poop, in case you didn't know. That's why I write my blog. I make these videos and I write as, I'm also now a published author. Gotta add that in there real quick, give myself a little promo. I published a poetry book with Barnes & Noble in 2020, and my poetry book deals with things involving mental health, trauma, heartbreak, friendship, but also chronic illness. And writing is what comes easy to me, and it's also really great therapy for me. But the reason I write my blog is I am my hardest to use this disease to my full advantage, I guess, using the platform I can to help others. And I want to shed some light on this disease and education. Like, I'm beyond grateful that even if it's just a small platform that I do have the chance to have, that I even have one at all. And if I can just help one person feel less alone or have their feelings validated, then I've done my job. And that's all that matters to me. This blog has given me a chance to at least meet people in the community and help people find ways to explain to their family and friends and acquaintances on these certain subjects that not everybody feels comfortable about. And it's taken me 4 years to really fully grasp what this disease can do. And it's scary. And a lot of people don't realize that Crohn's is not easy. And it's hard to explain something to people that they don't understand because they don't experience it. If you have these things, I hope this stuff can help you. Not alone in this. As much as it sucks and we can feel very alone, we're not. And there's some solace in the fact that we are all kind of on this journey together, even if we don't know each other or experience different things. We're still there as a little community, and that's what's the most important. Go check out my blog. The link is in my bio, and I'll put it underneath this video as well. I also, one little update, I made, they're on my Etsy, and they are IBD food journal pages that you can download. They're like $2.31. $1 of proceeds from each purchase will go to the Crohn's and Colitis Foundation. You buy it and it automatically gets sent to you, but it basically helps you track what you ate for breakfast, lunch, dinner, and snacks. It has a pain scale, it has notes, it has how many bowel movements for the day, the date, there's different, colors and designs for which one you like the best. So yeah, that can be found on my blog as well. And I will see you guys in the next video. So yeah, thank you so much if you listened, and I hope you guys like the content that I put out, and feel free to give me a follow on Instagram. Bye! My blog is there is a gnat in here, and I am so annoyed with it.